Let's listen and look at a story called Frog Went A-Courting. It says, Frog Went A-Courting, a musical play in 6 acts by Dominic Catalano. What Dominic Catalano did was took a song, Frog Went A-Courting, and he illustrated and showed a whole little story from it. So as I go through this and I sing it, I'm doing this music, which goes, when Frog went a-courting, he did ride on. When Frog went a-courting, he did ride with pipes and a drummer by his side. I sometimes skip that last. We're going to hear 2 versions of this song today. This is the more Disney version of this song. It has a happy ending. Oh, and disclaimer, it's pajama day when I'm recording this. So if you think I'm wearing pajamas, you are correct. All right, let's get into this. First, what does courting mean? To court. It has nothing to do with anything with lawyers. To court is an old-fashioned way of saying to date someone with the intention of perhaps marrying them. It's a very proper way of getting to know somebody before you ask them to marry you, because long ago, people would get married by the time they were 20. If you were 20 and not married, you were considered like hopeless. The whole mission in life was to get married. So people would get married. Yeah. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Frog went a-courting. The Highland Minstrel Players proudly present Frog Went A-Courting, a musical play in 6 acts, retold and illustrated by Dominic Catalano. Highlands, that's often referring to Scotland. So we see some reference to Scotland's culture here. I see a frog wearing a kilt. Looking pretty cute. This is just says the cast of characters. Here we go. Act 1. When Frog went a-courting, he did ride on. When Frog went a-courting, he did ride with pipes and a drummer by his side. So high upon his mount, Frog sat on. So high upon his mount, Frog sat, his buckled boots shone black as jet. Up they rode to Grandmouse Hall. Up they rode to Grandmouse Hall, Frog's pipes ringing in a rousing call. Miss Mouse hurried to her balcony. Miss Mouse hurried to her balcony to hear Frog singing, will you marry me? But Miss Mouse sighed, I can't do that. But Miss Mouse sighed, I can't do that without the consent of my Uncle Rat. Well, the old gray rat was quick to adore. The old gray rat was quick to adore, and Frog was the dandy he was before. Let's talk about a couple words. First, consent. Do you know what consent means? It means permission, right? And Miss Mouse can't say if she can marry the frog without the permission of her Uncle Rat. This is the way it was in Europe, in Scotland, for a very, very long time. If you were female, you were basically the property of whatever man was in your family. You didn't have many rights of your own. So perhaps her Father's not around, so she has to ask her Uncle Rat. In cases if you had a brother, if you were a girl and had a brother and he was the man of the house, you'd need permission from your brother if he was the adult, that male adult that could give permission. So what does this mean? Frog was the dandy he was before. It means like charming, an old-fashioned way of saying that. All right, let's get on with this. Will he or won't he give his consent? Charmed, said Rat, and gave his consent. Charmed, said Rat, and gave his consent. Next you'll hear how the wedding went. Jolly Miss Mole made the wedding gown. Jolly Miss Mole made the wedding gown, cut from the finest silks in town. Down the aisle Miss Mouse she walked. Down the aisle Miss Mouse she walked to face a bug who talked and talked. Madam Moth had much to say. Madam Moth had much to say. She gave the guests a special day. They ate their fill with Chef Raccoon. They ate their fill with Chef Raccoon, who served the feast with a silver spoon. Even Sir Turtle rode across the lake. Even Sir Turtle rode across the lake. He laughed and said, just came for cake. That's my favorite part. I would totally go to a party just for the food. Not COVID times, of course, but if it wasn't COVID, I'll show up for your food. As evening came, Frog coaxed his wife. As evening came, Frog coaxed his wife with the prettiest tune he'd played in his life. What is to coax? To coax. He is trying to convince his wife that she really made a good choice, and to convince her that he really is a good husband for him. And his the Uncle Rat didn't make a mistake or anything. So he's trying to make her feel better about perhaps a situation she's nervous about. Uh-oh. When meow growled the quick tomcat, When meow growled the quick tomcat, he yelled, I'll put a stop to that. Any predictions? What on earth is going to happen? Want to share it? Okay, let's see what happens. Ready? Here we go. The cat only ate the bagpipes. Thank goodness. Well, Frog and his love went off to France. Well, Frog and his love went off to France. So ends our story, but starts their romance. Look how cute. There's a little froggy at the front of the ship. And what does Frog have? A present from his wife. No longer bagpipes, now a saxophone, an equally loud instrument. So this was one version of this story. Let's hear another.